Yes, yes, you are. You are tuned into the Andrew Gosser Show right here on 103.9 WYAB. It is Thursday, the 16th of October, 2025. Ah, weekend's almost here. We are streaming on Rumble. We are streaming on X. We are streaming at YouTube, and we are streaming at WYAB.com. Radio signal going up. We're going to have a 50,000 watt blowtorch signal coming up here at the end of the month. It's going to be awesome. But if you can't get us on our signal, we certainly appreciate everybody tuning in on the stream and going ahead and liking it, sharing it out, getting the word out there. You can follow me on X. It's just Andrew Gosser, AndrewGasser. There are multiple ways to participate in the stream today, whether it be the phone lines, the text line, or the group chat. Find one and hop on in. The number, if you want to be on the program today, is 601-879-0002. And the text line is 601-879-5060. Always appreciate the collaboration. Jameson would say that we were all collaborators on this big thing together that is live radio. Mission here, we are here to equip you, the Saints, with the information that perhaps you might have heard, perhaps might have not. But the bottom line is we are not here to get everybody all fired up and charge hell with the water pistol, although that wouldn't be necessarily a bad thing. Here to give you the information so that you can have calm, legible, meaningful interactions with people, not necessarily on the far left, but in the center, who are genuinely looking to expand their viewpoints. And it's a lot easier when you are having all the knowledge and you don't have the emotion necessarily tied to it. We can just kick back and talk about things. Yep. Gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word, it incites anger. Preparing for the show last night and this morning, all the show prep I did last night was good, but most of it, by the time I woke up, some of it wasn't necessarily as relevant as it was last night when I was going to sleep. Quick check here of Netflix. Netflix is down today, 0.75%. Oh, it just bumped up. Or now it's bumped back down again. So it's down 0.275 of 1%. So we'll see what happens. The 5-day still looks marginally poor. 1 month now. Oh, it's dropping like a rock. So keep in touch with Netflix. It wasn't the band wasn't doing too bad yesterday, but it seems to be hitting hard today. Yesterday, I talked about the story. I can't remember if it was Mississippi Free Press or Mississippi Today, talking about how the Democrat had its best fundraising quarter ever in the history of the Mississippi Democrats, with a statewide candidate raising $600,000 in 3 months. That's pretty good. I wonder what his fundraiser charges. Taking 10% of that, 15%. Someone's getting some money out of that. Well, Frank Corder over at the Magnolia Tribune came out with this story, and I like all the local news stories, whether they're right wing, left wing. Anybody who's putting out stories locally that we can look into, we've got to appreciate that, which is why I turn to Magnolia Tribune a lot. Cindy Hyde-Smith comes out swinging in a re-election bid, reports over $2.3 million cash on hand. This is going to touch on a topic that I know is near and dear to my heart, but it also really irritates a lot of my listeners. And I don't mean to be arrogant, boastful, haughty, or otherwise disrespectful, but sometimes you got to drop those truth bombs. And when I tell people that, hey, they need to run for office and start off local, this is why. And no disrespect to Cindy Hyde-Smith, Senator Smith. She's running her campaign. She's already got the Trump endorsement, and she's full steam ahead. Candidates running for U.S. Senate and the U.S. House of Representatives were to file their third quarter campaign reports with the FEC by October 15th. With the government shutdown, I wonder if it'll be extended. As of early Tuesday morning, not all of the announced candidates' filings are shown on the FEC website. However, those candidates who have announced running for office in 2026 in the U.S. Senate against U.S. Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith, a Republican, she leads the pack in terms of cash on hand with $2.34 million. Sarah Adlaka, I hope I said that right. If not, somebody will correct me, who reported $122,000 cash on hand after previously reporting a loan to her campaign for $200,000. So she's already basically bought a house and mortgaged that house on this office. Apparently, she has raised about $57,000 this quarter, which is, think about this. If she raised $50,000 in a quarter, her state rep race or her state Senate race is funded well. 57,000. Whew, that's a lot of money. On the Democrat side of the race, Scott Cullum called his campaign fundraising effort in the first month an extraordinary historic milestone. He has roughly $580,000 cash on hand. Cindy Hyde-Smith, $2.34 million. So, and this is what I want to add to this, conservative friends. If it really comes down to blows, do you think that Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith can't call in favors and just start printing money? She can. She would rather not. She would much rather have fundraisers and be able to give them to Senate Leader PAC, John Thune's PAC. She'd rather go ahead and fundraise for other Republicans around the nation who have a much tougher fight than she appears to have right now. And look, I agree in primaries. If someone wants to primary Cindy Hyde-Smith, that's great. But you not having at least, and remember, I think we talked about, I said congressional race was 2.5 million. Senate, I think he said was 5 million, maybe 6. But this is why, ladies and gentlemen, it's not that I'm just pulling numbers and figures out of the air and saying, oh, look at me, I look smart. No, these are the real numbers of campaign finance. And it is my passion in life, a political passion anyway. I absolutely love seeing new people run for office and win. And we've won a lot more than we've lost. And we can definitely do better. But this is why I talk about these things. It's why I'm so excited when people run for mayor or alderman or president of their community. It's why I get excited when I hear people running for school board and county supervisor more than I get excited for people running for state rep or even Congress. And perhaps next week we'll just pick out a just school district in some unknown county and just walk through it so that you can see. But hats off to Magnolia Tribune and to Mr. Frank Corder on this. I'm going to take this right now. I'll plop it on X for us all. And you can go ahead and read it yourself later. Because again, remember, we're here to equip the saints. That's you. You spending 6 minutes. Well, actually, no, you're all fast readers. So you all spending 3 minutes to get caught up on this. You will have edified yourself. This segment is being brought to you today by Elite Custom Construction and my man, Stephen Arrington. They do custom cabinets, custom kitchens, custom decks. Their kitchens can be outdoors or indoors. They do a really great job. Custom milling work using high-end products. This is the kitchen that your spouse is really longing for. And you can find him on the net at elitecustomandconstruction.net, or you can give him a call at 601-927-0000. 0552. They're located in Pearl, Mississippi. Been around for over 15 years now. They're not going to be one of these companies where you give them a bunch of money and all of a sudden nothing shows up. We like to keep it local here at WYAB, and I'm just really grateful and thankful for you, Brother Stephen, for supporting the show. So we've got to talk about our favorite Supreme Court justice. Who? Ketanji Brown Jackson. And before we do, we've got to set the primer. We've got to set the primer. You just can't go into this willy-nilly. You got to lay out the footprint. And it's going to take me probably the end of this segment and maybe a big chunk of the next one too, just to lay it out. But we know that Ketanji Brown Jackson, when it comes to the bench, she's just special. And we have to seriously wonder what the heck our senators were thinking when they approved this woman. But quite frankly, I think in a very sorry way, it's actually sorry. It's shame. It's not even shameful. It's just tragic. Tragic. There is not a better poster child for why you don't want to be a liberal thinker than Ketanji Brown Jackson. I'm sure of it. And I'm not trying to rip her down just to rip her down because she's a leftist. I disagree with her views. And certainly no one should, with all the stupid stuff that a lot of these federal judges are doing, not necessarily at the Supreme Court, but at the lower level, the district courts, even a few of the appellate courts, they're just out there. And these rogue judges are absolutely destroying our country. They are truly making this country disabled and not being able to do the things we need to do to be a successful nation. So, but we need to build the primer on Ketanji Brown Jackson. So I'm going to play this one. It's 56 seconds. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the kind of stuff, if you truly like cringe, you're going to enjoy this. If you're watching me on the webcam right now, you're going to see me cringing and just, it's tough to listen to. It's hard to listen to this, but we must. We must. Here we go.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition?
Mhm.
No,
Yeah,
I can't.
you can't?
Not in
Okay.
this context.
So you
I'm not a
believe the meaning
biologist.
of the word woman is so unclear and controversial that you can't give me a definition?
Senator, in my work as a judge, what I do is I address disputes. If there's a dispute about a definition, people make arguments and I look at the
All right.
law and I decide. So I'm not.
The fact that you can't give me a straight answer about something as fundamental as what a woman is underscores the dangers of the kind of progressive education that we are hearing about.
Yep. That was Senator Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee, then questioning Supreme Court Justice nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson. And here you have a woman, because look, Ketanji's a lady. She just is. And it's not that that's what she identifies as. It's just what God made her. There's no debate. There's no nothing. It is what it is. I'm a man. That's how God made me. I'm going to embrace it till the day I die. And that's just the way it is. And no amount of liberal, rot gut, anxiety-driven stuff that comes out of my cell phone is going to make me believe otherwise. It's just the way it is. When we get back, number one, the texts and comments are coming in about Cindy Hyde-Smith, so we'll talk about that. But we are going to continue to line up Ketanji Brown Jackson because it was truly a glorious day at the Supreme Court yesterday, and it'll continue today, and we'll continue to talk about it right after we take this commercial break. We will be right back. Right back.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
Antique Mall of the South has 14,000 square feet of pristine, clean floor space. Home to beautiful, timeless antique treasures. Antique Mall of the South is open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. Check them out online at antiquemallofthesouth.com or go to the Antique Mall of the South Facebook page. You can also read the dozens of 5-star reviews online. Come see for yourself at Antique Mall of the South in Ridgeland. Now open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. That's Antique Mall of the South, Highway 51 in Ridgeland.
Whether new construction or remodeling, Stephen Arrington and his team at Elite Custom Construction can design and build your dream kitchen and cabinets, inside and outside. Using high-quality products, Elite Custom Construction specializes in cabinetry and intricate millwork. Established in 2011, licensed and insured, Elite Custom Construction is your solution to your next project. Call Stephen at 601-927-0552 or visit them online at elitecustomconstruction.net.
Would you like the convenience of a sunglass clip that fits your eyeglass frame? Hi, it's Bruce from Eye Gear Optical, and I've heard you asking, so I stocked up on them. Come choose from our selection of Revolution eyewear frames with magnetic sun clips at fantastic prices. For about the same price as a regular eyeglass frame, you can have the best of both worlds while they last. Come see me and I'll customize a pair just for you at Eye Gear Optical, 2630 Highway 80 East in Pearl, and on the web at eyegearoptical.com.
Hi, this is Lee Atkins of Home Care Plus in Ridgeland. We are a proud carrier of Abena Premium Incontinence products. Abena has the most absorbency available, making changes and leaks less likely. After 7 years as a seller, I can tell you these products are amazing and worth every penny to quality of life for patient and caregiver. And we ship all incontinence products as well. So please come see us at Home Care Plus in Ridgeland for all the incontinence needs of you or your family member. That's Home Care Plus in Ridgeland.
After 28 years, we are closing our brick and mortar location in Canton come November 2025. But fear not, smalltownmusic.com will remain alive and well, and you will still be able to text or call 601-859-8596. Small Town Music, come on and get it. 859-8596. Call before you're home. We will have a booth on Canton Square at the Emporium, and you can still browse our guitars and support our original music at www.smalltownmusic.com.
Attention homeowners and business owners. Complete Exteriors is now Elite Roofing and Gutters. Are your roof and gutters storm ready? The folks at Elite are your local experts in storm protection. Now is the time for an inspection and for proactive solutions that ensure your roof and gutters can withstand any storm. Get up to a possible $250 rebate on a new roofing system for all active military, veterans, and retirees. Online at eliteroofer.com.
Craving something extraordinary in Jackson? Manship Restaurant is where your taste buds hit the jackpot. Join us for happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. where your wallet will thank you and your stomach will sing. Indulge in half-price wood-fired pizzas because why pay full price for half the fun? And for just $5, dive into our private barrel bourbon picks. That's right, luxury on a budget. Plus, beat the heat with our frozen drink specials, a tropical escape without the travel expenses. Make your way to the Manship where happy hour isn't just a time, it's an experience.
Oh, yeah. We are back at the Andrew Gosser Show here on 103.9 WYAB. If you're following the stream online, I appreciate a like, a share, subscribe, whatever you can do to make the stream grow. That would be awesome. Look, clearly, I went to the Ketanji Brown Jackson story too early because between the chat and my phone blowing up, including an unknown texter wanting to know if I'm a plant or a rhino, the answer is no. I am not, but I am a realist. And I can't tell you how many times there have been conservatives, and quite frankly, Democrats too, with these delusions of grandeur. And they get involved in either a congressional race or a senatorial race. They think they've got it all figured out. And 2 weeks into the declared race, not the one where you're kind of fishing around, trying to feel stuff out, doing all the easy work, getting a neat logo sign, seeing your name on a sign that's always kind of magisterial. But the truth of the matter is, if you've never politically fundraised $1 in your life, what makes you think that you can go up with somebody with 2.34 million? And all she is one text and one phone call away from starting to kick off a fundraising operating machine that will get her another $3 to $4 million. And that's going to be the real race right there. And that's what I'm trying to do. I do find it funny because this person, and I don't know, unknown texter, but texts me often, and then all of a sudden, and they text me good stuff. I use some of their stuff, but a plant or a rhino, that's pretty funny. I believe all our politicians should have to answer, says Eric. What have you done? Just like any other job performance interview, what are you doing? Where's the progress? I agree with that, Eric. And that is why I tell people to do 2 things. Number 1, write, call, or even visit whatever politician you're trying to influence and establish a personal relationship with that person. Not necessarily that they're going to agree with you all the time, but you know what? When they see you writing consistently and plugged in, you will be taken much more seriously for your requests. And then the other thing, people get all upset with me, being a precinct delegate. You would be surprised. You say you're a precinct delegate and you actively curate the voters in your precinct, which is anywhere from 800 to 1,000 people. You actually make it a point to go out and just know your neighbors. You will get so much farther politically in life doing these things. And the truth of the matter is, it unfortunately, almost anything good in life takes time. Our society today, we're not even a microwave generation anymore. You used to stick it in the microwave for a minute, everything would be hot, you'd be ready to go. Now you want it instantaneous. Before, we used to have to go shopping at the Kmart. Now we just Amazon Prime it. Boop. Here it comes. Ready to go. Whatever it is that you're shopping for online, they've got it. But I just wanted to clear up those couple thoughts on Cindy Hyde-Smith before we get back to Miss Ketanji Brown Jackson. And if you disagree with me, feel free to call in. If you agree with me, feel free to call in too. 2028 still ways off. 2027's a way off too. It's absolutely fascinating to me how many people in my precinct, where I talk to a lot of people and let them know what's going on politically, how many people still don't realize that our state reps and state senators are not coming up for election this year. It's in 2027. They know it's an off-year election, but they thought that they were up for election this year. And it is a sad thing to see, quite truthfully, because some of these people have been involved in Mississippi politics for a long time. Some of them not so long, but they've been in Mississippi 40, 50 years and never voted in an off-year election. got like 12 or 13 of those in Terry now, where I live, who never bothered to vote in these off-year elections. And then all of a sudden they started realizing how important it was. But I wasn't able to convince them just on one visit. No, this was me building relationships with voters. And one day they just asked, "Why are you so convinced with these off-year elections? Would you come over and explain it to my husband and I?" Yes, I will. And they're going to be great. Hopefully they take over for precinct delegate for me here. They would be so wonderful when someone else can do it. But while I'm there and doing it, I want to make sure I do it better than anybody else. And I think that pretty much sums up the Cindy Hyde-Smith question. Again, if you do not like what she's doing, reach out to her. Most likely, someone will get back in touch with you from her office. If you email, expect an email. If you phone call, expect a phone call. Best thing to do is to go visit, though, and make it a family deal. I mean, get the business done that you want to get done. But, it's a great thing to take your toddler to the congressional office or the Senate office, because your kids are sponges at that point in time, right? And all of a sudden they walk in, and let me tell you, these offices are decorated to the hilt. I can remember, well, I can't speak for like the field offices, but working on the Senate side in Washington, D.C., like the carpet, you really do sink into the carpet, like all the tricks that they have to make you feel in awe and mesmerized. They're doing that in Washington, D.C. And if you're not paying attention, you're going to get off track. You're going to go down a road you didn't have to. You're going to give them an out. And then all of the work and time that you spent trying to set up that meeting to pitch whatever cause it is that you're trying to pitch is completely gone and down the drain. Gone and down the drain. And again, that's why it's just like anything in life, right? When you started riding a dirt bike back in the day, it had pedals, and then you went up to a little 50cc thing, and then you went to a bigger bike, and finally you got to something where you're competitive. But you just didn't start off on that high-speed motorbike. No. And there are some people who do start off on that high-speed motorbike, but they have a higher ratio of crashing. I'm just saying what I'm saying because it's true. When we get back, I will replay that Ketanji Brown quote and then the new one, and we will continue on with the Andrew Gosser Show right here on 103.9 WYAB. We will be right back. Hey, we're on a commercial break. What's going on?
I'm trying to reach Clay Edwards. Is he still in the building?
Nope.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Economy, there's still opportunity. Protect your retirement with a secure tax-advantaged gold IRA. Instead of leaving a 401k or IRA at the mercy of markets, hold physical gold or silver. Real protection for your future. And Noble Gold makes it simple. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com and chat with a specialist. The conversation is free and the peace of mind is priceless. noblegoldinvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals involves risk. Consult your financial advisor before making investment decisions.
Here's Greg Gutfeld.
So what's next for the Never Trumpers? They'll say the peace isn't permanent, that who deserves credit is complicated. No, it's not. It's as plain as the smiles on the hostages and their families' faces. Nope, not this time. Yeah, it's not about Trump. It's about you and your self-doubt. You realize that if you're wrong on this, you are likely wrong about a lot of things. And there goes your identity, one firmly rooted in Trump derangement. Your derangement was scaffolding for your ego, and it's collapsing before your very eyes. But for many, that should mean freedom to finally get on with your life and think about things and people without this distorted filter Surely there's still some time to come back to sanity where men are men, women are women, and peace deals are worth celebrating. But for those still lost in the sea of Trump hate, that's a fate worse than death.
For more commentary like this, go to foxnewspodcast.com.
It's no secret the Honda and Acura vehicles are some of the best built and most popular vehicles in America. Both Clinton Body Shops are ProFirst certified to repair your Honda or Acura to the high standard of safety and appearance your car was designed to meet. Visit collision.honda.com and watch the videos that explain why it's so important to choose a body shop certified by North American Honda. In Clinton or in Richland, choose Clinton Body Shop. We work for you. We take pride in perfection.
Pops Auto Sales on Highway 49 in Florence is where you come to buy quality cars, trucks, and SUVs. Priced to fit your budget. At Pops Auto, we specialize in trucks. From four-wheel drives to diesels, our satisfied repeat buyers know Pops as one of the largest truck inventories for any independent dealer, period. Browse Pops inventory at popsautosalesllc.com and get pre-approved for a zero down payment with approved credit. With warranties and service contracts available. Pops Auto Sales, your home for trucks. Highway 49 South in Florence.
It can be hard to move past the guilt, times of weakness and regret, knowing you weren't there for your family when they needed you the most. But there is life after addiction. We're seeing broken families restored, one man at a time, through our vehicle, cash, and thrift store donations. It's given Mercy House Adult and Teen Challenge the ability to help these men succeed in having better lives. Donate a vehicle, running or not, and we'll come pick it up. Call today, 601-572-7296, or visit us at vehicledonationsms.com.
Whether new construction or remodeling, Stephen Arrington and his team at Elite Custom Construction can design and build your dream kitchen and cabinets, inside and outside. Using high-quality products, Elite Custom Construction specializes in cabinetry and intricate millwork. Established in 2011, licensed and insured, Elite Custom Construction is your solution to your next project. Call Stephen at 601-927-0552 or visit them online at elitecustomconstruction.net.
If you want the best health care, where do you go? The Mayo Clinic. If you want the best care for your vehicle, where do you go? Mayo Auto Clinic in Raymond. Mayo Auto Clinic does foreign and domestic vehicles and diesel repair. Mayo Auto Clinic has ASE certified techs with over 25 years of experience. You can extend the life of your car or truck when you take it to Mayo Auto Clinic. For cost-effective repairs and maintenance, go to the best, Mayo Auto Clinic. Open weekdays at 7 a.m. Highway 18 in Raymond.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We were talking about Ketanji Brown Jackson before. I won't call it a complete bombardment, but different messages from a lot of longstanding texters. Wanted to make sure that I covered the Cindy Hyde-Smith lead in fundraising and tried to answer some questions there. And the truth of the matter is as we get closer to the primary, these numbers will expect to go up. You will see people starting to sharpen their attacks against everybody, and it'll be interesting to see what the Republicans do in Mississippi. But let's get back, because Ketanji, she hooked us up. She hooked us up. But again, we've got to just remember, Supreme Court justice now on the Supreme Court doesn't know what a woman is.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Not in this context.
So
I'm not.
And that's all you need to know. I'm pretty sure anybody listening to this radio program right now can tell who's a man and who's a woman, who's a girl, who's a boy. For thousands of years, we can look at somebody and you know what? We realize you are a male and you are a female. But no, not one of the 8 sitting justices. I know there's 9, but remember, one's the Chief Justice and the other one's the Associate Justice, right? And there's 8 of them, right? Chill. Now we have one of our Associate Justices on the Supreme Court completely out of her mind. What's funny, I can see Clarence. I just got this picture in my mind's eye of Clarence Thomas reaching back. He's got that center drawer full of mints and candies and snacks. Miss Ketanji Brown Jackson about ready to start her questioning, and he just gets the snacks and starts smiling. He's like, "This is going to be good." Yes, Mr. Clarence, Judge Clarence, it is going to be good. And this is 1 minute and 28 seconds that if you haven't heard yet, you have now, and it completely changes the game.
I guess I'm thinking of it.
It's going to hurt.
Of the fact that remedial action, absent discriminatory intent, is really not a new idea in the civil rights laws. And my kind of paradigmatic example of this is something like the ADA. Congress passed the Americans with Disabilities Act against the backdrop of a world that was generally not accessible to people with disabilities. And so it was discriminatory in effect because these folks were not able to access these buildings.
And right about here, I could just see Associate Justice Sotomayor and Associate Justice Kagan going, "No, Ketanji, don't do it." And they're sitting there, no. And you just see the Alito and Clarence Thomas on the right going, "This is going to be great. This is going to be epic. There will be memes made from now into eternity memoriam." Yep. Here we go. Listen up.
And it didn't matter whether the person who built the building or the person who owned the building intended for them to be exclusionary. That's irrelevant. Congress said the facilities have to be made equally open to people with disabilities if readily possible. I guess I don't understand why that's not what's happening here. The idea in Section 2 is that we are responding to current day manifestations of past and present decisions that disadvantage minorities and make it so that they don't have equal access to the voting system, right? They're disabled. In fact, we use the word disable in Milligan. We say that's a way in which you...
Minorities are disabled now. Minorities are now disabled, according to Ketanji Brown Jackson. She's essentially saying that Black minority districts are disabled districts. That there's no fix for this. You're in a wheelchair. You're going to be in a wheelchair for life. It's absolutely, completely turned this case on its head. And I'm telling you this, that Article 2 of the Voter Rights Act, I can't remember what year that actually passed, but it's gone. When you hear rationale like this, trying to compare it to the Disabilities Act, which there are some things that I understand with the Americans for Disabilities Act, but it's nothing germane with what's being argued here. And this is going to be a 6-3 vote. It might even be 7-2. I could see Justice Kagan agreeing, and she's very liberal. It's just a feeling I have. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But our court system, starting at the very top, is in trouble. We have so much to talk about with our courts. You know, the courts are the ones that are enabling all of this. I guess better word for it is strife and indecision. Guess what? We've heard this headline before on the Andrew Gosser Show, and I'm sure we'll hear it again. Federal judge blocks Trump from firing federal workers during government shutdown. For now. At least now the mainstream media is got to the point to where they understand that these federal judges who are acting completely outside the jurisdictions of the courts that they've been given are a fast track to get overturned by emergency hearings. We've talked about this many times on the program, and it's no surprise to us. This one is coming out of the Ninth Circus, I believe. The Ninth Circus Court of Appeals, Northern California. On Wednesday, Judge Susan Ilston of the U.S. District Court for Northern District of California granted a temporary restraining order, pausing reductions in force for more than 30 federal agencies. This is what happens when you have the auto pen run the office, the president's office, the office of the presidency in the United States of America for 4 years. There are so many judges who put on that black robe and power trip. Judge is a very exclusive and important job in the American form of government, representative republic, not a democracy. And when you have judges who are making decisions out of their own emotions and not what the Constitution says and the intent of the framers and what they were trying to achieve with the Constitution of the United States, there's a problem there. We are trying to build a country that is not necessarily revolving around God, but we're revolving around these judges. That's how we get the days like the No Kings days, these protests. I'm absolutely not looking forward to the No Kings protests coming up this weekend. But I am absolutely excited to see that the government is going to start looking into who's funding all of these protests with these bricks that just get dropped off, pallets of bricks that just get dropped off in random areas. It's these things that are happening, we shouldn't have to deal with in America 2025. We should be operating at such a higher level, at such a higher plane. But we're not. We are operating at our TikTok level. I can't tell you the ads that I get targeted now. It's truly like to dumb down your IQ. Some of these games that they're trying to get you to play, where you just tap the screen and all these little men start running all over the place. I don't want anything to do with that. I get it. I got to get subjected to an ad. But those games that are coming out now are nothing like what was coming out in the 90s or 2000s. And it's just a sign of how our culture is regressing, not progressing. And of course, who was it that filed suit? The unions, the federal unions, the governmental unions. The unions filed suit after the Office of Management and Budget issued a memo urging agencies to use the funding lapse for layoffs, which plaintiffs say misinterprets the Anti-Deficiency Act. So this is what I think is going to happen. Those people are already gone. They're gone. The Trump people are going to challenge this in court. It's going to go. They have another slated meeting in 5 days. They'll have that hearing, and it'll get appealed to the appellate court. And the Ninth Circus is going to say, we agree with the judge. And then it's going to go to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court's going to say, you guys are all screwed up. Start over. This just is what it is. I mean, I see so many of these judge articles now where judge blocks President Trump. I don't even report them to you all because we've got the pattern so laid out. We've got it so figured out. We know what's happening. We got to take our last commercial break of the hour. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB.
1039 WYAB.
Hi, folks. Kim Wade here. Mississippi Energy Services provides generators. That's right. You may not need it now, but when you need backup power, you need a backup power generator from Mississippi Energy Services. Never again have to worry about being without heat, air conditioning, or all your frozen items spoiling because your energy was lost. You got backup power now, and it's so reliable. You'll be pleased with Mississippi Energy Services. Online at msenergy.us.
Looking for adventure, amazing food, and a little relaxation all in one place? You'll find it at Cypress Point Resort in Brandon. Load up the family and experience a real drive-through safari, petting zoo, and thrilling guided Jeep tours. Then slow it down with mouth-watering steaks at the steakhouse, or grab drinks and live music at the tavern. Planning a wedding or reunion? Cypress Point Resort has beautiful venues and cozy lodging. Ready for your big day or just a weekend escape? It's everything you love about the outdoors with a touch of luxury. Cypress Point Resort. Wild fun right around the corner.
Here at Lake and Glass and Tint, we've become well known for two things: window tint and windshields. Now, when it comes to window tint, you already know that we're the go-to for home, car, and office. And as always, we offer free consultations. So if you're in the need of window tint or windshields, give us a call, 601-946-1000. Check us out on Facebook or Instagram or at lakeandglassandtint.com. Lake and Glass and Tint, where quality matters.
Did you know that the average 6-room house collects 40 pounds of dust each year? Local business Pure Air Consultants duct cleaning service can rid your home of the dust, dirt, and debris that may be caught in your air ducts. They can eliminate the mold, fungi, and microbes that might be growing inside your ductwork and polluting the air you breathe in your home. Mention WYAB and receive a free UV light with system replacement. Visit online at mypureairconsultants.com. mypureairconsultants.com.
Hey guys, this is Casey Ellis with Ellis Autoplex, located on Highway 471 in Brandon. Ellis Autoplex, known as Little Truck City, is your old school mom and pop style dealership that's family owned and operated. We specialize in 4-wheel drive trucks, but don't worry, we have cars and SUVs too. Looking to sell your vehicle? Bring it by Ellis Autoplex, where we pay fair market value and we cut you a check on the spot. Need your vehicle service or repair? We can handle that too. Shop us online or set your appointment at ellisautoplex.com. That's ellisautoplex.com.
Hey, freedom lovers, Big River Ballistics in Morton is your one-stop shop for all your 2A need. From suppressors to everyday carry pistols and everything in between, we've got the gear. Test it in our beautiful facility and stretch out your rifle on our 1,150-yard range. Memberships start at only $40 a month. And hey, veterans, first responders, military, you're getting 10% off everything, including memberships. Visit BigRiverBallistics.com. That's Big River Ballistics, where freedom fires. Big River Ballistics, Morton, Mississippi.
This is Jack Hoffman. For nearly 31 years, Tico's Steakhouse has been a staple of fine dining in Jackson, Mississippi. Dad has long since desired for me to come work alongside him. And now that I'm here, I would like to invite you to come experience our family tradition of our hospitality, sizzling steaks, and healthy poured beverages. Our dining rooms are open and we are taking reservations. Our private rooms are also available along with takeout. Call today or stop in and experience Tico's in the second generation.
Tico's Steakhouse, East County Lime Road in Ridgeland, 601-956-1030.
Even with interest rates higher than recent norms, real estate values are still holding strong in Mississippi. We caught up again with one of Mississippi's top real estate agents, Shane Saxon, to explain his recent activity in the market.
In the last year or so, it's been the best of my career. Interest rates have been high, but the real estate market is here to stay. Land values especially are continuing to rise. Home values are holding. If you need help with anything in real estate, just give me a call.
Find Shane Saxon on Facebook or give him a call at 601-540-5040. Hopper Property, 601-724-1435.
There is so much stuff to get to. And I'm trying to pack it all in, maximize the use of every possible second. And I've got one here. The mainstream media has always called MAGA extremists. They've called us Hate America, the Hate America Party. I don't get it, but they have. And shout out to Western Lensman on X, at Western Lensman. He came out with this 44 seconds of MSNBC/MS Now/BS Always. And it perfectly illustrates the gaslighting and the duplicitousness of the mainstream media. You just have to wait long enough and have a good screen grab. You got a good screen grab? This guy does.
Is proudly and with a smile on his face saying, if you disagree with Donald Trump, then you hate America. They have talking points where they are calling people who disagree with them members of the, quote, hate America crowd.
Did you hear that sighing in there? Because they all knew that he was stretching it and going down a path that wasn't good for him. You got clipped, Joe.
And calling these, quote, hate America rallies. It is dangerous and it is beneath contempt.
These people, and I will say these people, these Trumpers who have spent their entire life attacking people for being insufficiently patriotic, and then they lose and they just hate America. They hate America.
That's all they've got, ladies and gentlemen. All they know how to do is call you a fascist, a racist, a Nazi. Your first cousin is Hitler, and you're a bad person. We don't want to talk to you. When it comes to the marketplace of ideas and debate, the conservative side has it. We've lost one of our best debate people because of the myopic doom loop that the Democrat Party seems to be running in right now. Not good, not good. We have so much more to talk about the No Kings protest coming up next, or this weekend. I believe it's this weekend. We've got so much more to talk about. John Fetterman, senator from Pennsylvania, Democrat, is never going to be a Republican. Don't ever think he's going to be a Republican or vote Republican. But when you hear him talking about certain issues, it kind of brings you hope that maybe we'll get some common ground back in the United States of America. First hour's done and dusted. You are listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9. We'll be right back in 8 minutes. Be blessed. We'll be right back in 8 minutes. Be blessed.
This is Central Mississippi's Stimulating Talk.
103.9 WYAB, Pocahontas, Jackson.
CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. The Justice Department's expected to ask a Maryland grand jury as soon as today to indict former National Security Advisor John Bolton, a man who's been a vocal Trump critic since leaving during his first term. CBS's Aaron Navarro says Trump has accused Bolton of revealing classified documents.
Once Trump returned to the White House for the second term, he did strip Bolton of his security protections. After that FBI raid of Bolton's home in August, President Trump said he did not speak to Attorney General Pam Bondi about it, but then added, quote, "I'm not a fan of John Bolton."
A judge has ordered immigration agents in the Chicago area to wear body cameras. Some have been involved in clashes this week with protesters. The judge said TV images of those confrontations startled her. Venezuela's presidents condemned the U.S. over word the CIA is now conducting a covert operation inside the country. White House correspondent Weijia Jiang says it follows military action against boats off the Venezuela coast.
The U.S. military has added about 10,000 troops in the Caribbean, including 2,000 Marines aboard the USS Iwo Jima. Trump warned it could launch strikes on land.
We are certainly looking at land now because we've got the sea very well under control.
The administration recently notified members of Congress the U.S. is in a non-international armed conflict with drug cartels.
President Trump says on social media that he's been speaking by phone this morning with Russia's Vladimir Putin. In Washington, CBS's Stacey Lynn reports it's day 16 of the government shutdown.
House Speaker Mike Johnson was asked,
how will it end?
His answer wasn't one furloughed Fed workers wanted to hear.
We have no idea.
He said that's up to the Dems, but
the Democrats appear perfectly happy to keep the
political theater going while real people suffer.
The Democrats are still holding out for health care provisions, but Johnson says they need to reopen the government first.
A judge ordered a temporary stop to federal firings during the shutdown. It's a bad scene in western Alaska in the wake of catastrophic flooding.
2 entire villages had to be evacuated after Typhoon Halong struck. A lot of houses are floating down the river with people in them. Alaska Governor Mike Dunleavy says 2 people who were washed away in their home are still missing. The first plane load of victims arrived at a shelter in Anchorage last night. This may end up being one of the largest airlifts of Alaskans in the history of the state due to a disaster. In all, 1,500 flood victims will be airlifted out. The governor says he's not sure when residents will be allowed to return to their villages. He'll tour the damage tomorrow. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Wall Street, right now the Dow is down 43 points. The S&P is down 6. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive. See why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk.
News and weather brought to you this hour by Flora Animal Hospital, where we treat your pets like our own. Visit our website, floraanimalhospital.com.
A rather quiet and smooth affair. 90 is the high this afternoon, and it's mostly sunny. 62 is the low tonight with increasing clouds. Mostly sunny and 89 Friday. Saturday evening and Saturday night, you may hear some thunder. The National Weather Service says strong to severe storms are a possibility for central Mississippi. You've got news on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis. Charles Ray Crawford was pronounced dead at 6:15 p.m. Thursday at Parchman, executed by lethal injection for the rape, kidnapping, and killing in 1993 of community college student Christy Ray in Tippah County.
Double cheeseburger, french fries, peach cobbler, and chocolate ice cream, but not together.
That was his last meal. The chief superintendent at Parchman says he does not know if the state is planning on executing more people in the near future. A child predator who was an assistant basketball coach at Clinton Christian Academy has been sentenced to 30 years in prison. Willie Alexander Jr. received that sentence for the abuse over several months in 2022 of a 14-year-old student, and prosecutors say he had sex paraphernalia and a hidden cam inside his house.
Even with strong crop yields this year, many farmers are facing losing between $100 and $400 per acre.
And that adds up to the hundreds of thousands, says Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith, who is asking Congress to come up with some short-term relief for farmers across the country, even during the government shutdown. Another arrest has been announced in the incident at Heidelberg High School in which 3 people have died. Authorities promised they had a 5th suspect in mind, and Wednesday arrested 19-year-old Jalen Gamage, charged with accessory after the fact and evidence tampering. This week's game has been canceled. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or
Yes, yes, you are. You are listening to the Andrew Gosser Show right here on 103.9 WYAB. Love it. Live radio, Thursday, the 16th of October, 2025. Andrew Gosser Show, streaming on Rumble, streaming on X, streaming on YouTube, streaming at WYAB.com. The transmitter's getting an upgrade at WYAB, but in case you can't pick up the signal, you can always catch us online. We really appreciate everybody who jumps in online. If you wouldn't mind just liking the stream, sharing the stream, letting people know. And if you haven't yet, please take the 15 seconds to hop on X and give me a follow at Andrew Gosser, AndrewGasser. Phone lines are open, 601-879-0002. Text line is open, and we're going to get to some of those text messages and chats before we really dive into the next topic. But the text line is 601-879-5060. We are here to equip the saints. You are the saints. You got to make sure you've got all the information you need to go drop knowledge on some of these people who are been led astray by the Democrat cause and the Democrat siren song. You know, you know. Gentle answers turn away wrath, ladies and gentlemen, but harsh words incite anger. I believe that with all my heart. I try to practice that every day. Let's see here. Is the government shut down, or is the government really shut down? Because they sure seem to be able to revive my taxes every day on every purchase. Yep. The government, critical nodes of the government are left open. It's interesting to see. I was through a few shutdowns when I was on active duty, and there was one time, I think, where we didn't get paid. I've always banked with Navy Federal, so they just basically put my mortgage. They didn't collect any interest for that month on the mortgage or anything. They just basically bumped everything back. Military communities are usually pretty good about taking care of the people on active duty and the vets. And that's just what happened to us. But Speaker Mike Johnson was asked about keeping the government shut down going until after the No Kings protest. And it's just 32 seconds from Fox News, but let's take a listen and see what Speaker Mike Johnson has to say.
Can you make
He's doing it for himself.
Can you make a 5-second prediction here for us? How long does this go on?
No. You tell a politician he needs 5 seconds. You better be planning for at least another 30.
I hope it ends soon. I don't think it will end before the Hate America rally on the mall on Saturday, where all the Marxists and Antifa people and all the people who hate Trump and hate America will be there. After that, though, I hope there's a couple of sensible Democrats who will come to their senses over in the Senate and vote the right way to do the right thing that they have always done every time in the past in their career. They need to do it now for the people, for the American people.
And let's just make it really clear once again, because I do know I have a lot of friends who listen to the show who don't agree with me on much, but we agree on some. And we've got to have that sensible middle, and that's where we're aiming for every day. And the truth of the matter is, the sensible middle, they see it. They see it so strongly. And there is no place nobody who is seeing it better right now than Senator John Fetterman, Democrat, Pennsylvania. And he is just absolutely causing a meltdown on X. And I think it's important that we give Senator Fetterman his just desserts, because when you have a Democrat who is speaking so plainly and so clearly, some people kind of wish, Senator Fetterman was in Mississippi. If we had Senator Fetterman in Mississippi, would the Republicans and the conservatives talk differently? I mean, I know that we've had our politicians say something similar to this, but the fact that he's a Democrat and saying it kind of elevates him. I still find it weird. Just have to be truthful with y'all, how he's rolling up into the Senate in a hoodie and Baja shorts. But he is. This was him last night. I'm getting this from News Nation. Just listen to this. Don't you wish our Republicans said this more? Don't you wish our Democrats said this more? Don't you wish our politicians, the people who are leading this country, said stuff like this more?
I'm the only Democrat in my family. I grew up in a conservative part of Pennsylvania, and I grew up and I know and I love people that voted for President Trump. But they are not fascists. They're not Nazis. They're not trying to destroy the Constitution and those things. And that's part of another thing. I refuse to call people Nazis or fascists, or I would never compare anybody to Hitler and those things. And now that kinds of extreme rhetoric is going to continue. We're going to be more likely in resulting in extreme kind of outcomes and political violence and doing all these kinds of things like Charlie Kirk. For me, all I could say is like, let people grieve, give people the space. I'm not going to use that terrible thing and that Pasek assassination to make my argument and try to put out my views. It's like, my God, he's a father that had his neck blown out by a bullet. And now people have forgotten. President Trump was in my state, was shot in the head. And if that could you imagine where our nation would be if he was hit in the same way with Kirk? We really got to turn the temperature down. And we can agree to disagree on these kinds of things. But right now, shutting down the government, I just can't take it that. I'm the only.
Yep. And you heard it right there. Senator Fetterman suffered a stroke, and he's come back from it. Everybody says that his personality is a little bit different, and I definitely agree with that. Pennsylvania Democrats are actively trying to primary Fetterman right now. And it's truly interesting to see how the National Democrat Party, which is more of a socialist/communist organization by every measure that you look at it, it's really interesting to watch them try to handle and contain Senator Fetterman. And the only thing they can think to do is to primary him. I think he's up in 2028. I don't think he's coming up in 2026. Someone will fact check me on that. But bottom line is that those are the kind of statements we expect from our senators, from our governors, from our mayors. And the truth is he's completely in line with that. He's completely in line with all of us who are in the sensible middle or on the right. This kind of circles us into what Clay Edwards is always talking about with the culture rot. And the truth of the matter is the culture rot has destroyed our ability to have conversations with each other. Remember, it wasn't Republicans who said if your relatives are Trump voters, don't go have Thanksgiving turkey with them. Don't have a holiday with them. You can't be seen with them. This TDS is truly a mental illness that is completely locked into the American public. And we've got to develop some antibodies on this. Otherwise, it's going to destroy us. So that was just one quote from Senator Fetterman. I've got one more. This is 38 seconds. I want to make sure I click the right one. I always, when I'm doing my show prep on this, I always make sure that I listen to the quote before I actually play it, because if I don't, it's not going to be a good deal.
That's why shutting the government is really what the Democratic Party wants to do. And I follow country, then party. And it's the wrong thing for the country in a period of chaos. I refuse to vote to shut our government down. I absolutely would love to have. I would love to have a conversation about extending the tax credits for healthcare. Absolutely. But I would remind everybody, too, this was designed by the Democratic Party to expire at the end of the year. This is not something taken by the Republicans. They were designed to expire. Now let's have a conversation to extend it and not shut our government down. That's what.
And let's look at that. The Democrats themselves are admitting this was a plan of the Democrat Party. And for all of my friends in the center, please remember this. We've heard the term clean CR, a clean continuing resolution. That is what Speaker Mike Johnson and the Republicans passed out of the House. And that is what Senator Thune, President Thune, he's the president of the Senate, and the Republicans have tried to pass out of the Senate, a clean CR. Ladies and gentlemen, think back just 3 short years ago when Pelosi was running the show. Remember how she always used to talk about poison pills? Oh, we're putting a poison pill into that bill. We can't vote for it because you put something in. Here's something that's completely clean. For a bill to be pushed through the Senate that's only 24 pages long, I mean, that's almost like go out to the store and buy a lotto ticket. That never happens. That never happens. And yet, even with this clean CR, even with all of the work that's been pushed forward by not just Republicans, because this is truly bipartisan. You've got Senator Fetterman, and I believe there's one other Democrat senator who's voting with the Republicans now. I can go look that up at the break. But long story short is that there are Democrats out there who are not beholden to the socialist, nihilistic Democrat Party that's just completely destroying itself. I'm not going to bring up the stuff that we talked about yesterday, but if you did not hear yesterday's show and how we completely broke down how all the markers are showing that the Democratic Party is collapsing, we need to make sure that we continue to monitor that and document that, and then also have that influence our actions when we're out there talking about stuff. It's interesting to me to see how even some of my really fierce liberal friends, I mean, these are blue skyers all the way. They do have an X account, but they never use it. I mean, they're just out there to the left. But even they, in the conversations that we have, the brief ones, they sit there and they realize, I can see them working through it. They know that something's not right, but their anger is just got the best of them right now. And Republicans, don't think that we don't do the same thing, because we have those on our side as well. And it's a really great lesson, in my opinion, for those of us who are really conservative, to look at what the Democrats are doing and how they're handling this. When we get back from the break, we're going to this is opening up a whole brand new door, and we're going to go and walk down this avenue together. You're listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We will be right back.
...8233 or visit nomoreroofstains.com today.
Whether new construction or remodeling, Stephen Arrington and his team at Elite Custom Construction can design and build your dream kitchen and cabinets, inside and outside. Using high-quality products, Elite Custom Construction specializes in cabinetry and intricate millwork. Established in 2011, licensed and insured, Elite Custom Construction is your solution to your next project. Call Stephen at 601-927-0552 or visit them online at elitecustomconstruction.net.
Have you noticed all these people acting like the sky is falling? All this tariff talk has folks real nervous, but at Eye Care Optical, we've got you covered. Our prices remain solid on all our quality products. While all other shops are raising prices, we are not. Come get a great pair of eyeglasses, computer glasses, or sunglasses that fit you, your lifestyle, and your budget every day at Eye Gear Optical, 2630 Highway 80 East in Pearl, and on the web at eyegearoptical.com.
You can show your pride and patriotism in honor of the 250th birthday of this great nation by proudly flying a flag. And a complete flag source on I-55 in Jackson is the place to find it. All sizes for all purposes. And they have the official 250-year celebration flag. Have a look at CompleteFlags.com. That's CompleteFlags.com.
Doctor, the AC doctor, what's your diagnosis? My whole house was hot as a fever. Now my house frozen, cause my air conditioning's on. Doctor, my AC's broken. Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
The AC Doctors is your one-stop provider for air conditioning and heating installation, service, and repair. Contact us for money-saving repairs and lower energy bills.
Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
Google the AC Doctors and get some relief today. TheACDR.com.
Hello, I'm Gary Jolly from the Tractor Store. LS Tractor understands your passion for the land, and just like you, LS Tractor is committed to excellence and superior products. LS Tractor comes with a long list of standard features that are unmatched by other brands and backed with the LS commitment to provide exceptional customer service and satisfaction. You get a lot more for your money with the LS Tractor. Come to the Tractor Store in Richland to experience the LS difference. The Tractor Store in Richland.
Health has always been reactive, focused on fixing problems as they happen. But with Blue Primary Care, we're taking a proactive approach, working with you to help you understand your health and empowering you to be healthy. It's time to prioritize you, your health, and your life. The results? Less worrying and more living. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue.
And we are back here at the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. Dogfish has entered the building and posed me a lot of great questions, but I just want to wrap up this judge stuff because judges matter so much. Trump MAGA slammed Judge Kendra Briggs over sentences in Big Balls attack. Big Balls became incredibly popular with the Doge crowd. His real name is Edward Korestein. He was the Doge employee. He was out with his girlfriend at 2:00 in the morning in DC, and a bunch of young thugs went up and tried to carjack his car and beat up his girlfriend and him up, and he stood and fought. And if you look at the pictures, Big Balls got his butt whooped, but he stood up to him. You know, the prosecutor found out who the people were. They tracked him down. Go ahead and have a trial. Associate Judge Kendra Briggs of the Superior Court of the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., gave the verdict. In August, Korstein was assaulted during an attempted carjacking in Logan Circle, which is it should be a really safe place, while accompanied by a woman. Police arrested two 15-year-olds as they attempted to flee the scene. Following the assault, the president said it was time to federalize Washington, D.C. That's true. On Tuesday, this is what these two kids got. Briggs sentenced the two 15-year-olds who attacked Korstein to probation after they pleaded guilty to simple assault. Dude gets his head bashed in, and it's just a simple assault. According to the local network, WUSA 9, Briggs said he hoped the two 15-year-olds would learn from their experience Yeah, they learned from their experience, Judge. They learned that when they're going to go roll up on somebody to have superior numbers, because there were more than just those two kids there, and Big Balls was able to hold off the scrap. Good on him. Speaking with reporters outside the White House, Trump expressed outrage. They beat the hell out of this guy. There were many people against this one guy that was really trying to protect his girlfriend. He added, "It's terrible. I think the judge should be ashamed of himself. That's a big problem." Trump didn't realize that the judge was a woman, but he did say himself, so I'm reporting it as such. It's not a big deal. Anyways, this judge has completely cemented the view of so many of us in the middle of how our judicial system is completely broke. There's a system for those who are in the political class, and then there's everybody else. Look, if I rolled up with one of my buddies and beat the tar out of somebody here, I'm not going to get that same treatment. I'm just not. And this is one of the big problems that so many of us see in the judiciary. You just don't know what you're going to get. Are you going to get someone who follows the law or follows their own heart? Because I can tell you a lot of these judges who have tried to stop these federal the executive branch, President Trump and the executive branch, from doing the work that they need to do, they've actually hindered the process of the country healing itself. I try every day to go onto TikTok and find a few TikToks of people from Memphis, people from Chicago, talking about how great ICE is doing, how great the federal marshals are doing, the FBI in these cities. Sadly, almost all of them have curse words in there, and I just don't feel like bleeping out curse words. I really don't. I can do it. I've got the stuff to do it. But long story short is it does no good. I wonder if this lady will be at No Kings. Okay. Dogfish has bombed with lots of questions, and a lot of people have talked about cloud seeding. And Dogfish says, "We sure are having some beautiful blue skies during the shutdown. Now we know some part of the government has been spraying the checkerboards into the sky." I have to admit, when I heard this yesterday, I went out and I looked, and I did not see any contrails. I can go in and talk about how when an engine is operating at such high altitude, you will get a contrail. But the one thing that this shows everybody is that the contrails have dissipated. And there's something there. Dogfish is right. He's got another quote here. Why is there no more talk about auditing the gold at Fort Knox? If our gold is revalued at these prices, that would be amazing. Yep. I sure do think that all these things that have kind of been put to the back burner, and between Dogfish and Rick, there's always constant conversation going on, and a few others too, about what's going on with the gold. The price of silver is absolutely just blowing up. If you've been following it for a while, you know. Why are the politicians in the House and Senate allowed to get a paycheck with the government and shutdown? I did not know that, Dogfish. But that's a great question. If you're not going to pay Airman Stuffy, Soldier Sammy, and Lieutenant Joe Bag of Donuts, lieutenants, you're worth slightly more than the bag of donuts. We love you, lieutenants and ensigns. But if we're not paying those guys, why are we paying the politicians? Dogfish asks, what is the delay in releasing the forensic ballistic report on the assassination of Charlie Kirk? It's important to know if the bullet matches the gun fired by Tyler Robinson. I agree with that. I don't know how long that takes. And then finally, and a lot of you have texted me on this. Apparently, many of you know about Senator John Fetterman from Pennsylvania. He's got some solid takes. I don't agree with everything he says, but he's got a lot of good takes. And if we had more John Fettermans in the Senate, I think we would be achieving a lot more. I think we would be achieving a heck of a lot more. Dogfish says Fetterman could join the Republican Party and be better than many of the current Republicans in office. It's true. And I guess if we're talking about senators, this is the one thing where I wish Senator Hyde Smith and Senator Wicker would be a little bit more on the record. That's not their style. Let's be truthful about it. Most of the national politicians in Mississippi do not like going on the record or speaking. They rather just go in and do their job and blast off. I like the politicians who speak, who, and I might be a poor example for this because when you stick your neck out, sometimes you get your head chopped off. And it's one of those things where, as a politician, if you go out and speak, even when you do a great job and you've done a great job, you're still going to get your head handed to you, but you got to do it. People are sending in silver updates. 54.34. It was at 53.04 yesterday. Wow, something's happening here. That's if you're watching gold and silver and those things. Netflix is down 60 cents, 0.5. It's kind of having a mild rebound today. We'll see what happens. You're listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We will be right back.
.1039 WYAB.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind with friends and family? El Patrillo Mexican Restaurant is calling your name. With locations in Flowood and Cross Gates, Brandon, El Patrillo is the cozy, family-owned gym where great food meets great times. Enjoy El Patrillo's signature margaritas and happy hour specials that keep their customers coming back for more. Indulge in their authentic Mexican dishes prepared with love and served in a warm, family-friendly atmosphere. Come to El Patrillo and taste the traditions. El Patrillo, where family, flavor, and fun come together.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Are you craving a home-cooked meal without the hassle? Come over to McBee's Bar and Grill in Ridgeland for their Blue Plate lunch specials. Served up every weekday, at McBee's it's a different entree every day. Chicken spaghetti on Mondays, beef tip Tuesday, pork chop Wednesday, spaghetti Thursday, and catfish Fridays. And McBee's Blue Plate lunch comes with 2 classic southern sides and cornbread or a roll. McBee's specials are served every weekday from 11 to 2. McBee's, buzzing the res since 1982.
CBS News brief. 2 months after federal agents searched John Bolton's home and office, CBS's Scott McFarland reports the Justice Department's poised to ask a grand jury as soon as today to indict the former national security advisor.
Among the things agents secured during those searches were electronic devices, and that it's an investigation into the potential mishandling and misappropriation or unlawful possession of classified records.
A judge who says she was startled by images of immigration agents clashing with protesters in Chicago has ordered them to wear body cameras. Venezuela's President Maduro blasts the U.S. after word the CIA is conducting a covert operation in his country. CBS's Weijia Jiang.
Asked if the CIA is authorized to take Maduro out, President Trump said it would be ridiculous for him to answer that question. And he added he believes Venezuela is feeling the heat.
President Trump on the phone today with Vladimir Putin. CBS News Brief. I'm Steve Kathan.
Come check us out at Planter Supply in the heart of downtown Bentonia. Not only are we here to cover all of your food plot needs, but you will find that we're fully stocked with a variety of ammo and other hunting necessities, including feeders, cameras, and climbing stands. Your pet's health is important to us as well. We have a wide array of animal health products and accessories, along with the highest quality feed for your livestock and pets. So come check us out at Planter Supply in the heart of downtown Bentonia, or give us a call at 662-755-8782.
I'm speaking with Lee Bounds of Rapid Rate Mortgage. How does real estate agent Rita Jensen succeed when time is of the essence?
In today's market, it is so important to communicate and close on time. Typically have 30 days to close, get a home inspection, appraisal, title work, that kind of thing is a mortgage process. And a realtor relationship is so important. With a realtor like Rita Jensen with Remax Connection, she helps us to close on time.
RitaJensen.net.
This ad is for all the guys who work hard and they expect their truck to do the same. At RPT Commercial, we have the accessories to help you on the job site. From names like Bedrock flatbeds, WeatherGuard toolboxes, Nap-High service bodies, ARE camper tops, deck storage solutions, and so much more. Stop by our new store on Highway 80 in Pearl and check with our expert staff and see what they can do to make the job just a little bit easier on you. At RPT Commercial, trucks live here.
Here's a word from John White, the owner of Two Gun Tactical in Flowood and Ridgeland.
I carry a gun every day, all the time. Last year in America, 2 million legal guns were pulled and it stopped the threat. So I'm really wearing a firearm just to stop the threat. There's more likelihood of me just pulling it and not using it than there is using it. TwoGunTactical.com, TwoGunTactical.com.
Two Gun Tactical, the South's only gun tree club.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. You know, we know the judges are crazy. It doesn't matter. You know, the ones we normally talk about are the federal judges. But you got some local judges, too. And listen to this report coming out of Chicago right here, and then we're going to break it down. You're going to understand why I did this.
Cook County Circuit Chief Judge Timothy Evans is barring civil arrests of people when they are at county courts. Evans said in a statement, quote, access to justice depends on every individual's ability to appear in court without fear or obstruction. Our courthouses remain places where all people, regardless of their background or circumstance, should be able to safely and confidently participate in the judicial process.
And that includes getting arrested on federal charges when you're in a state court. Think about this. Did you hear what they said? A Cook County Circuit Court judge. That means it's not even a federal court. And the state court is saying the federal police can't do their job. This isn't, by the way, we are not going against any major or minor rules of law with this, sending in federal agents into the circuit court to apprehend people. We used to do it all the time for actions other than just immigration. We're just now using it as a tool for immigration. And I'm just sitting here looking at this. I could actually see other states turning it around. I don't see Illinois or California or New York ever turning it around. I see the smaller states like Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, Pennsylvania, some of these other blue states, maybe Georgia, turning it around. But when you've got state judges who are trying to direct federal law enforcement agencies on how to do their job, you just know how completely disconnected from reality they truly are. And then, of course, you've got Senator Josh Hawley, who I do like. He is one of those people who will run for the microphone. And he's been pretty solid. There are a couple things I disagree with him on, but this was his thought about what's going on with the judicial nominees. I mean, it's really a bigger issue than people are realizing.
Can you do something as a senator about these judges that are making these crazy rulings, these dangerous rulings? Can they be impeached?
They can be impeached if they refuse to follow the law. They can also be defunded if they refuse to follow the law. And here's the other thing. It's time to confirm every judge that Donald Trump has nominated. He's got a bunch of them pending. The Senate needs to confirm them all. We need constitutionalist judges on the bench, and we need to stop these runaway district court judges who aren't following the Constitution, trying to impose national injunctions. That needs to stop.
And this is the kind of the nice thing about this. We are seeing a bigger and bigger call to go after these rogue judges, especially in those lower courts. Granted, right now most of them are on the political right and Republicans, but there are some common sense middle of the roaders out there who are also calling for the same thing. But it's going to take time. It's one of those things that you just can't go in there and do this instant, put it in the microwave for a minute and take care of it. One of the things they can do is, like Senator Hawley said, is get all of these new judges approved through the Senate. And by the way, I do like that. And I know that this is going to be an unpopular take, but I do like the Senate filibuster take on it. I mean, the Democrats are going to have to own it. And right now I just got a text from one of my liberal friends, and it's funny. He goes, this is more and more not looking like a President Trump shutdown, but more and more like a Senate Democrat shutdown. That's a card carrying blue Democrat right there. And when he is saying something like that, man, that make me turn my head the whole way. Look up real quick. So we're doing great stuff. We're doing great stuff with the judges. We continue to document it and point it out. Hopefully you do the same. And as we do this together, it ends up working out pretty good. Pretty good. All right, next story. Go ahead, computer. Not a radio station thing. It's more operator error kind of thing. I got this in my inbox the other day, and I wanted to talk about it. I had like 4 or 5 texts on the cyclone that hit Alaska and with the flooding and everything, and I was being sent these reports saying that the reason that the cyclone did so much damage was because the government was shut down. This is the kind of weak Democrat packaging, shipping, marketing that they try to use anytime there's a problem, especially with Mother Nature. In the tragic flash flood in Texas, where they tried to blame PBS and NRP. They didn't have the funding, so that's why all those people died. Everybody knew it was BS, but that story still circulated around the earth 6 or 7 times before it was curtailed. Same thing with this thing out here out of Alaska. I went actually back, and I have the storm tracker. It was actually called Halong, Asian name there, and they have all of it's absolutely brilliant. It has all the weather forecast models. It has all of the weather reports, warnings, and watches that were put out well before this storm ever hit the coast of Alaska. So when you hear people talk about that, it's just another example of where, unfortunately, and we know this, that we have to go to the news media to get our news, but we have to look at it very suspiciously, because if we don't, we're going to be in trouble. This is coming from WLBT via WLOX. A Mississippi teen's fentanyl death is spreading awareness in a state campaign. Fentanyl is some evil, evil stuff, man. It's addictive. It comes at you quick. I've never had it, but everybody who's telling me about it says that it's powerful stuff. Have had morphine for surgery, but never had that. They were talking about arrest the other day, 425 pounds of fentanyl. They said it had enough to kill 55 million Americans. That's just staggering to me. Does anybody not see how they perfected these narcotics rings in the 80s and 90s, especially in the Black communities? Let's be truthful about it. It's not to say that it doesn't happen in the white communities, but they got this all figured out. And just think, at any time they could just cut the next level of narcotics the fake oxycodones, the fake hydrocodones, or whatever, Percocet or whatever the heck they call it. And they just have to cut it a little stronger, and a bunch of people are going to start taking these pills, and they're just going to start dropping dead. It's not too far-fetched to think that. It's not too far-fetched to think that. And Mississippi, we got our settlement. They're figuring out how to spend that money. I would have to say it's not a lot of money, but it is some money. And they're actually having a walk Saturday, October 18th. One pill can kill. Every step counts. It's going to be in Gulfport. And what I'll do is I'll share this on X. I know that I have some friends down there who listen to the show. If that's something that tickles your fancy, you should definitely do that. That actually wouldn't be necessarily such a bad idea to do with the Sweet Bee. Toots, and maybe even drag Splinter along and go for a 5K walk. You know what else is going to be a great event? Turning Point USA at Ole Miss with Vice President J.D. Vance and Mrs. Erica Kirk. That's going to be on October 29th at Ole Miss. You can go to theturningpointtour.com if you want to get tickets. I'm pretty sure there's a waiting list now. But if you haven't had a chance to go get tickets, or if you have a chance to go, you should. It's going to be a great event. It's not like they're bringing in C-listers to Ole Miss. You've got JD, the vice president, and Miss Erica Kirk coming in and doing this for, I think it's an hour and a half. They're doing an Ask Me Anything, I believe, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great event. My hope is that we get a lot of people up there who want to go run for office and want to be conservatives like Charlie Kirk, and go ahead and start doing his work that he was cut short on doing. We need to know about it. Yep. It actually starts at 5 p.m., but the doors open at 3 p.m. So for those of us, we got to calculate in travel time and whatnot. So I'm going to have to dip right out the door here from the radio show and blast up to the Turning Point event. I think it's going to be great. Then with Turning Point, whether I actually volunteered there, worked there, or just been following there, I've been there since day one. And it's a lot of pride in that group to see how Charlie took it from one person himself, an idea, and then he got a few of his little buddies. They're not little buddies anymore; they're grown men, and they built this entire awesome organization that empowers so many Americans. The education that groups like Turning Point play are critical. They educate us on civics, on spirituality, on life. Imagine if you had the Hustlin' Hood listening to Charlie Kirk like they listen to the drill rap. Hood would be turned around quickly. I know I've brought this up a time or two before, but it still always amazes me. Every time I go into Kroger, got the hits of the 80s and 90s on. You don't hear any new music. Can't put it on there with the lyrics. Not good. We're going to take our last commercial break. 2 hours already in the can, essentially. So quickly. You're listening to the Andrew Gosser Show right here on 103.9 WYAB. We will be right back.
.1039 WYAB.
Friday Night Lights, family, and a hot Johnny's Pizza House pizza on the table. Now, that's our kind of hustle. Make it a sweep the kitchen and bring everyone together. Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice. Here in the South, we keep our football loud and our pizza loaded. Grab a Johnny's Pizza House, sweep the kitchen, and cheer on your hometown team. Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice.
Looking for the ultimate reset for your body and skin? At Core Wellness and Recovery, you'll find next level services like cryotherapy, red light therapy, infrared sauna, body sculpting, and advanced facials. Whether you want to boost performance, recover faster, or just feel your best, Core Wellness and Recovery delivers real results with zero downtime. From muscle relief to radiant skin, this is self-care redefined. Come experience the future of wellness, Core Wellness and Recovery, just off Highland Colony in Ridgeland. Book now at corewellnessandrecovery.com.
My name is Terry Parkinson. I'm with the Madison County Co-op in Canton. Hunters, we've got the deer food plot and attractants. The Madison County Co-op built a big following in the cultivators over the years and try to be real competitive on our price and selections. What makes us what we are is you can come in the door, get your ticket and go to back, and we get you loaded and out of there. The Madison County Co-op in Canton, we're about a block southeast of the square. You want to get in there and get out, you come see us.
UrgeVet Emergency Vets Madison has been serving your pets for 5 years now. From late night emergencies to weekend worries, we have been here caring for your pets when your regular vet isn't available.
From the moment you walk in the door, our team of veterinary professionals is here to care for your pets at all hours of the nights, on weekends, and holidays. Located at 15 Olympic Way in Madison. Call us at 601-790-1918. UrgeVet, always here when your pet needs us most.
Business owners, tired of drowning in payroll, compliance, and back office headaches? P-Police has your back. P-Police can free you from the never-ending grind of employee administration, such as time and attendance, onboarding, background checks, even business insurance. While you focus on growing your business, P-Police handles the paperwork. Stop stressing and start succeeding. Partner with P-Police, locally based in Ridgeland. Visit ppolice.com and get back to business.
Your roof is constantly exposed to the elements, battling dirt, algae, and stains. But with Watkins Construction and Roofing Roof Wash Service, you can keep it looking like new. A proprietary rooficide treatment is EPA approved, safe, and guaranteed to prevent algae from coming back for at least 2 years. No harsh chemicals, no damage, no black streaks. Just a clean, beautiful roof that lasts. Call Watkins Construction and Roofing at 601-966-8233 or visit nomoreroofstains.com today.
Y'all come see us at Flora Animal Hospital, your trusted hometown vet. We offer a wide variety of veterinary services, including boarding. Dr. Kaylee McCary is a Madison County native who has been serving the Flora community and surrounding areas since 2013. She leads our team of highly trained and compassionate women. We are located at 740 Highway 49 in the Cotton Exchange Plaza. Call us today at 601-879-3222. At Flora Animal Hospital, we treat your pets like our own.
There's never been a better time to buy a new construction home in the city of Brandon at Hyde Park. Take advantage of builder incentives, including seller pay closing costs or rate buydowns that help you lower your payment by hundreds. Prices start at $299,000 at Hyde Park. These beautiful homes offer LVP flooring, gas fireplace, and 2-car garages, all backed by a wonderful builder's warranty. Hey, I'm Brad Burleson with UList Realty, and I'd love to show you around Hyde Park anytime. Give us a look at our website, ulistms.com, or simply Google Hyde Park Brandon.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back to the Andrew Gosser Show right here at 103.9 WYAB. Coming from the post-millennial. That's, again, it's not one of these big corporate conglomerates. It's a smaller news outlet. But this is music to my ears. NBC cuts diversity verticals, lays off 150 staffers. The layoffs target about 7% of the total newsroom of 2,000 workers, plus 2% of the NBC Universal News Group at large. And it just goes right into it. And this just goes to show you that Winston Churchill was right. You can always count on America to do the right thing after it's tried everything else. And this LGBTQ stuff that we've been gone through, this diversity stuff, they've completely changed a great word, which is diversity. And I love diversity. I love the biodiversity on my farm. I've got all sorts of different things out there. I love the diversity of my group of friends. But when you actually force this stuff, and it's not really being diverse because you're forcing it, and not only that, you're not really allowing diverse opinion to win out. You are forcing an opinion on everybody, and if they don't believe on you, you're a fascist and a Nazi. We've already proven that. NBC News is moving away from diversity initiatives in broadcasting and has eliminated its teams dedicated to covering issues affecting Black, Asian, American, Latino, and LGBT groups, the WYAB reports. This is part of a sweeping layout plan that saw 150 staffers lose their jobs. What's really interesting to me, and I'm going to point this out to you all, and I hope you pay attention to it and actually validate me or find me wrong and let me know. But if you look in all of these newspapers when they're reporting on Black, Asian, American, Latino, LGBT, they always capitalize, making it a proper Black, Asian American, Latino. They always capitalize it. But they never capitalize white. Why? This is part of the gentle bigotry that the mainstream media tries to impart on all of us. Again, and I will never be mocked by this word because I just continue to prove it. This is the subtleness of Operation Mockingbird and how it permeates the complete journalism landscape of the United States and the world, quite frankly. It was in 2020 that NBC Universal chief Cesar Conde launched the diversity plans. The demographics of America have been changing for decades, and that change is accelerating, he said at the time. Well, the bottom line is it's not making any money and making NBC, the way that they report their news, drop lower and lower and lower. I mean, NBC has really been hurt by MSNBC, and we know that. And we'll continue to monitor the situation moving forward as we walk down this journey together. You know, we talked about a lot today. We talked about the judicial system, the crazy judges, the outrageous rulings. But during this whole time, we still keep on trudging along. We're doing great. The country is not collapsing. The government is shut down, but maybe this will motivate some people to go out there and start their own businesses and their own jobs so that they don't have to depend on the government. We'll see you in about 22 hours, everybody. Take care. Be blessed.